What's up, guys? I'm LAJ with Legendary Sports Organizations. I'm back at it with Peter.
How's it going,
Young
guys?
Peter right here. So it's crazy what's going on right now. This could really change the whole dramatics and the whole vision of the Eastern Conference with the entirety of one player, and that is
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving. Would you say he's the best point guard in the league?
No.
Who do you think is number one?
It's still Paul and
Okay.
Curry.
Oh, yeah.
But you're talking about Kyrie, who is about maybe the next one in line, you know.
Top five for sure.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Okay. But he's in a team where they desperately need him, and he's been one of those players who's undoubtedly been the focal point to this entirety of the Cavs being in the finals. Would you not agree?
No, I feel that it's still LeBron's team. You're talking about a guy who is the franchise, but Kyrie is that Robin to LeBron's Batman, where you need that scoring punch and that ball handling guard that can enter the paint at will, shoot a decent clip for the 3-point shot, and can just create havoc even in mid range. Now his defensive side of the ball still needs some work. I mean, at this point, you kind of get what you get with him. He's more of an offensive type player than anything that he can bring on the defensive end. So it's kind of give or take with him. That's why they have, I believe, Tristan and Kevin and LeBron making sure that anyone who passes Kyrie into the paint, that they have those three guys right there making sure they can attest for any mistakes that he may have on the defensive end.
Now, do you think this entire Kyrie demand trade is out of left field, or is it something that
actually is? When I first heard the news, I was like, wait, how would you want to leave your franchise
team that you started with?
Yeah, the team that drafted you, that you had, I believe, 2 or 3 losing seasons with, re-signed with them, and then now at this point gone to 3 straight finals, and potentially even more, because until Boston decides to make that next step, it's still Cleveland's conference. No one else is going to touch them.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think Kyrie has tasted so much success coming from the horrid Cavaliers team he began with in 2011, where they were the worst team in the league, and they just couldn't win, and it was just terrible. And I think tasting that success and fearing that LeBron is going to leave, I don't think he's willing to now take that. Exactly. He doesn't want to wait to see what LeBron does next. So I think for him now making that step to, I want to move to the next contender, to the next possibility of winning and being part of another championship contending team, I'd rather leave before they leave on me. And I think that's what's sparking the whole situation with Kyrie asking for a demand.
I see that. I mean, next year is going to be a really big year for free agency, and obviously the top of the list is LeBron.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to know, what's he going to do? Will he stay? I don't see him leaving. I really don't. But could he head out west and come to LA with the Lakers? Could possibly happen. Could he end up... Who the heck knows? Who knows where he would really end up?
Yeah, it really does.
Because I don't see him going back to Miami. I mean, Pat Riley would obviously love to have him back and have that semi-reunion. I mean, because Dwayne Wade would be available.
And Chris Bosh supposedly wants to play again.
Could, but they obviously released him because of his health reasons. And believe me, I'm pretty sure Chris Bosh would choose his health over basketball. I don't know. Ball is life, I guess. Whatever's. But I'm pretty sure he would choose his health over anything else.
Yeah.
But Kyrie doesn't want to wait. And I understand that once I finally had it explained to me why he would make that move to be that main guy. But he's been accustomed to the Robin role, where that secondary player to now want to become the main focal point of your franchise. I don't see it with him. Like, I really don't. Like, you're really talking about a guy that, I told you, can score at will, can do everything you need a guard to do. But but his assist numbers aren't there. He doesn't really make his team better around him. LeBron is the one who's made that team better around them, and he's not really their point guard. He's more of their point forward, because I know they share the ball when they come up the floor together. So I don't know. We'll talk more into this video on where we see him going, where it could be a potential good fit for him. But as we were discussing, is this really the same thing as the Kobe Bryant trade demand that he wanted way back in 2007?
No, absolutely not, because Kobe at that time, well, he was at a completely different level from the league. It's just that he did not have that role players. Like, he wasn't given... I mean, I'm not saying LeBron has better people around him, but
no,
Kobe
but
had
we're
Kwame
talking about a
Brown.
Lakers team that had, I believe, Smush Parker,
Kwame Brown, Brad Monovich.
and I can cut myself off there. And when I realized that at one point the LA Lakers had Smush Parker as a starting point guard, this is a bit of a stretch when you're thinking about the playoffs and winning championships.
Yeah.
Obviously, especially for a city and a team that expects to be not only be in the playoffs but to be in the title in the finals.
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you think? You think he's the same thing as 2007 Kobe Bryant demanding that trade?
It was a little bit different. I believe Kobe was using his star power and his name to make sure that Lakers brass with was Mitch Kupchak, correct? Was the GM at the time?
Yeah.
So Mitch, he really wanted to pressure him to get, and obviously Jerry West. Obviously, he wanted to pressure them and let them know, like, look, man, I'm the focal point of your franchise. This is why I don't see Kyrie really being that. He's not Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that guy who his own brand, his own aura, like, because Kobe, like, we both remember prime Kobe, where, my God, that man could almost do no wrong. Yes, he had his haters. Yes, he had his incidents with Colorado and all that, but no one can really touch the man. I was seeing shots, fadeaway shots, mid-range. My God, he was a sight to see with seeing Kobe Bryant in those prime years. So I don't see the correlation with them. I just think Kyrie just wants to know what exactly is going to happen with his teammate LeBron James leaving. But since he's not going to get a straight answer from him, because I don't even think James knows at this point.
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
think
he's
so.
just playing it off like what is the Cavaliers just today, July 28th? 27th, July 27th, just today, they got a GM. Just today.
Kobe Altman, I believe was the name.
Yeah, he's a Kobe something. So it took a Kobe to get
I know, it took a Kobe.
So, but, he's coming into this situation where they haven't made any trades. The Warriors got extremely better. Kyrie now drops a bomb on them. And it's like, okay, where do the pieces, I got to pick them up and I got to do something with it. But where do you go from there? Kyrie has a lot of value. That's one thing for sure.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about a 25-year-old who has 2 years left on a contract that is very cap-friendly at only $18 million. $18 million,
yeah. He's going to get, obviously, a max deal.
Obviously. But for a team to take something on like that now, a lot of the teams in the league would be salivating over that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just when we were trying to run these numbers and these trade scenarios, a lot of them either didn't make sense or Cleveland would need to have had a lot in return because obviously they want a king's ransom for Kyrie.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of worth it, but when you think about trade value and the other contracts that are out there, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And given the fact that 3 of your top players are pretty much taking up your cap, and then you have Tristan Thompson, then you have Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith, who are among that big salary.
Yeah, you're talking about guys they re-signed over there because they had their bird rights so they can go over the salary cap.
Yeah.
But why would you have re-signed JR? Why would you re-sign Iman Shumpert? These guys really haven't proven anything the last few years. Like big contract. It's been the big 3 that's really taking them to the finals.
Yeah, and held them there and actually put
no other player that they've re-signed or have picked up in free agency really push the needle. Now you're going to have to trust your next year on Derrick Rose, Jeff Green, and Jose Calderon. I'm sorry, like that's pathetic.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It really is. But the sad thing is they're still gonna go through the East, and then of course, unless some random team or injury happens, I don't necessarily see anyone really challenging Cleveland. I honestly think they could even go in as an 8 seed as a joke. I'm saying this, but they can honestly go in as an 8 seed, take the regular season off, and they'd still sweep through the playoffs.
No.
That's how I honestly see it because they don't care about the regular season.